Your cards will be launched into space on a Kaiba Corp satellite. Cause I figure, if there is intelligent life out there, then let's teach them how to duel.
What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here, bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. Now, this is a deck that I've seen a lot of people playing around with, both in online and in locals, being Blue Eyes. This deck is super cheap, at least for the Blue Eyes card portion of it. The non-engine, not so much. But this deck is quite strong, and I did want to give it a serious look. I do believe I already did a Blue Eyes video talking about the Cartesia, janky build, but I wanted to talk about the actual relevant build of Blue Eyes as well, and put my own little twist to it in terms of the non-engine that we're playing. So, that's enough yapping. Now, here is Blue Eyes. So this deck, again, always gets support, no matter what. The one thing you can count on in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Blue Eyes getting more support. And so it did. It got Maiden of White, it got Wishes for Eyes of Blue, it got Roar the Blue-Eyed White Dragon, it got Majesty, it got a Link monster, it got a new Synchro monster. It can have everything, you know. This deck can have literally everything. And it'll still barely be playable and easily interacted with, specifically with Bestial, since Blue Eyes is a light monster and it likes bringing itself out from the graveyard. So, that's enough yapping. Let's get to the card by card. Starting off, we're on double Blue Eyes. You can play one. If it gets banished, you're fucked if you don't have any more of Roar, although some people are playing multiple. I was tempted to play multiple, but I'm not playing multiple of the fusions, so not especially the best. We're on double Blue Eyes, one Jet Dragon. Jet Dragon is just a very cute card. I don't think it's really great, but it does prevent us from playing one more piece of non-engine, which just is going to drive the price of this deck even higher. We're on triple Sage, triple Maiden, and one Master. Sage on normal summon is going to add another level 1 light tuner from our deck to our hand. We can pitch it from our hand, target an effect monster we control, send it to the graveyard, and if we do special summon a Blue Eyes monster from our deck, and that's any Blue Eyes, including Jet. And our main target that we're going to be targeting if we do that second effect is going to be Maiden of White. We can send it from our hand or field to the graveyard to place a True Light from our hand, deck, or graveyard face up on our field, in our spell and trap zone. If we special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card's in our graveyard, we can immediately special summon this card. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this target's targeted for an attack, quick effect special summon a Blue Eyes or a level 1 light tuner from our graveyard. It does not have to be Blue Eyes. So for example, if we go Sage, target Maiden, in order to special summon a Blue Eyes from our deck, we can then go Maiden, target Sage, because Sage has discarded itself for the cost of its own effect, allowing us to get a Blue Eyes on our side of the field and retain a level 1 light tuner as well. Incredibly powerful card. Each effect is a once per turn, but we can use all the effects in one turn. Just super strong. We're also on one copy of Master with Eyes of Blue. On normal summon, we can trigger a level 1 light tuner in our graveyard and add it right back to our hand. Perfect for adding a Sage right back. And we can shuffle this card from our graveyard into our deck, target one effect monster we control, great for targeting our Maiden, and then special summon a Blue Eyes White Monster Dragon from our graveyard, other than the sent monster, and we can only use this effect of Master once per turn. So we send our Maiden, special summon a Blue Eyes from our graveyard, other than Maiden, because Maiden isn't Blue Eyes. Although if we target our Jet, we can't summon the Jet right back, and we get to special summon a monster from our graveyard, either a Blue Eyes or a tuner with our Maiden. Not as good as Sage target Maiden, is a little bit clunkier, although it is another option, and it's another light tuner that we can add from our deck to our hand with our Sage. We're on triple copies of Wishes, allowing us to pitch a card to add a level 1 light tuner and one spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes from our deck to our hand, except for itself, and we can banish it the same turn as activated to target a Blue Eyes we control to equip a Blue Eyes from our extra deck to it as an equip spell that gives it 400 attack. This seems really fucking mid as fuck, that second effect. However, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is protection for any Blue Eyes while it's in our graveyard, and will destroy the card that is targeting the protected monster, I guess. Incredibly strong thing. It also allows us to go into a Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon in order to clean up gummy board states and reset traps from our graveyard. So overall, an incredibly powerful card. It's insanely strong. This card's insane. We're also on one copy of Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon, special summoning a Blue Eyes from our deck, graveyard, or banishment in defense position, but if we do not control a Blue Eyes White Dragon, we only summon the OG one. And we cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for dragons. Not especially the most relevant. It'll lock us out of a handful of cards, like exactly SP and Lina, but that's fine. And while it's in our graveyard, we can banish it to fusion summon a fusion monster from our extra deck using monsters from our hand or field, including a Blue Eyes as material. We're also on one copy of Mausoleum of White. This card just gives us extra normal summons, can buff a monster's attack by sending a blue eyes from your deck to the graveyard. Pretty powerful card. Wasn't played in blue eyes before because it was unsearchable. Now they have a link one that searches the field spell, so you know. We're also on one copy of True Light. Your opponent cannot target blue eyes in your monster zone with card effects, and if it's sent from the spell zone to the graveyard specifically, destroy all monsters you control. That is a mandatory effect, so it's a great way to answer our own board. And once per turn, you can either special summon a blue eyes from your hand or graveyard, or set a spell trap from your deck that mentions blue eyes white dragon with a different name from the cards you control in your graveyard. Great way to search Wishes of Eyes of Blue from your deck without having to, open it. We're also on one copy of Majesty of Dragons of White. Show up to reveal 3 blue eyes from your hand, face of field or graveyard. Pop that many cards your opponent controls. We're only really going to be popping 2 unless we have a jet on our side of the field. Even then, this isn't one of the cards that is referred to as a blue eyes specifically, so only 2. And we can banish it from our graveyard to ritual summon a blue eyes. Never, ever doing that, ever. For non-engine, we're on Triple Thrust, 1 Tactics, 1 Called By, 1 Magnamut, double Druis, 1 Baldrake. Baldrake is an incredibly strong card, except into Malice. Like, this card's ass tier into Malice, but it's pretty good even sometimes into then. You can banish the Link Decoder and stuff like that, the Haggard Lizard Doze, that sort of deal. We're also on Hand Traps of Nibiru. Effect Veilers are a level 1 light tuner, so we can add this off of Sage or off of Wishes. Triple Imperm, triple Fua, and triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. In our extra deck, we're on Lina for Fiendsmith stuff. SP Little Knight, 1 Heraldic Seal because we're on Dragons. Double Spirit with Eyes of Blue. On special summon, we get... we're on double copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue. It needs a level 4 lower dragon or spellcaster, so we can basically use anything in this deck that we can normal summon as material. If it's link summon, we can take a Mausoleum from our deck and either add it to our hand or send it to the graveyard. Mausoleum technically has a graveyard effect to add Burst String of Destruction. We're never doing that, so always adding it to hand. And if this card's on field, you can tribute this card to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard, but if you special summon an effect monster from the graveyard, it cannot attack and its effects are negated. Not especially the most relevant, the negation thing, like, oh no, my Jet Dragon's negated, let me just link it off and then bring it back with its own effect later, like, whatever. So we're on Double Spirit just to maintain that effect, to be able to bring back that Blue Eyes just in case. 1 copy of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by tributing a Blue Eyes White Dragon equipped with fusion monster. You see how we're bringing it out now. We go Wishes, target a Blue Eyes, equip Neo Ultimate, summon Tyrant. Tyrant Dragon reads, unaffected by trap cards or effects, can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can target a trap in your graveyard and set it. That isn't a once per, technically that is a once per turn, but that doesn't need to target a normal trap or anything. We can target an Imperm, reset it. We can target a Majesty, reset it. Even a True Light, we can reset. So, incredibly powerful card for OTK and cleaning up gummy board states, as well as Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We're never really going to be summoning this card ever. We're also on the OG card, being Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, being able to negate a card that's activated in the graveyard and prevents our opponent from special summoning 2 or more monsters at the same time. We can also quick effect tag out into any light dragon synchro monster, either being our new one, Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, which our opponents just cannot banish cards anymore, which is whack as hell for certain decks, but whatever. And it's effect from their graveyard, so it'll stop opposing Bestials. It'll also stop Malice cards like White Binder and shit like that. So it can be problematic against certain decks, especially given that Blue Eyes does have a little bit of a weakness to interaction with their graveyard. And once per turn, when a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack till the end of this turn. If it's destroyed by battle or card effect, we can special summon a 1 light dragon monster from our graveyard, except for itself. The thing is, Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, if you do the tag out effect to cheat this guy out, it'll destroy it at the end of the turn. And then when this card's destroyed, it'll bring back Spirit Dragon from our graveyard. Sure, we can't tag out again, because only the Synchro Summon version of Spirit Dragon can do that, but we do still get the Floodgate of 2 or more monsters cannot be summoned at the same time, and the negate of the graveyard. Another light dragon target we're on is Crimson Dragon, which allows us to tag our Crimson Dragon himself, or another Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, into a Cosmic Blazar Dragon. We're also on generic cards of Aggregator and Typhon Sky Crisis. Aggregator here is just for the Ultimate Slayer in our sideboard. In our sideboard, we're on double Lubellion, as well as 1 Regained if we are against a deck that loses. Pretty hard to brand it, and we're going first. This is also really good against Malice. Branded Regain specifically is an incredible card to have against that deck specifically. We're also on double copies of Dominus Purge. This is primarily a light deck. The main thing is Bestials are not light monsters. Same with Ash Blossom. They do not play well with Dominus Purge. However, if we're against a deck that does not lose at all to Bestials, we can side Purge in and remove the Bestials except for Magnemite and just hope we don't draw Magnemite after we've purged, you know? We're also on triple copies of Lancia for Malice. It's also a light monster, so we can play it with Purge. It plays nice. Double copies of Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, another card that plays well with Purge. This will prevent Bestials on our turn by, stopping the Bestials from going through. It's kind of useful since Bestials do hurt this deck quite a bit, but another card that hurts this deck quite a bit is Nibiru, which is a reason that you could be running Cross-Out Designator, although I personally am opting not to. We're also on triple copies of Droll and Lockbird. We're not going to be adding anything during our opponent's turn, and it's a card that plays well, again, under Dominus Purge. And we're also on one Harpy's Feather Duster and one Ultimate Slayer, both of which are semi-searchable using Triple Tactics Thrust. That's going to be about it for the deck profile. Thank you all so much for watching, if you still are. Thank you so much for watching, if you still are. If you want to become a member and assist me in making these videos in a financial aspect, you do get certain benefits that are laid out to you at the end of each of my videos. No pressure though, just watching the videos supports me more than enough. So thank you all so much for watching, if you still are. Thank you to my one member, thank you Ari, and I'll be seeing you all later. Bye bye. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you wanted to talk to more Yu-Gi-Oh players like yourself, I would highly recommend checking out our Discord server. Link is going to be in the description, as well as the QR code on screen. We do talk somewhat frequently about Yu-Gi-Oh and the current meta, so I would really enjoy to see you there. As well as we do recently now have channel memberships available on our YouTube channel, where we have 3 different tiers. We have Super Supporter at $2 a month, where you get loyalty badges, emojis, guaranteed comment responses, a shout out at the end of every video, as well as access to the members only Discord channel, where you get early sneak peeks at future videos. There is the Giga Supporter at $5 a month, where you have early access to all new videos about a day or two before they go up, as well as all the previous offers. And for $15 a month, we do have our final tier, which is going to be Femboy Fanatic. You get a guaranteed customized video every single month, as well as 1 hour of my time. Could be for anything you'd like. You want a duel? Absolutely. You want me to help build a deck? Absolutely. You want to play some Helldivers? Sure. I'll do anything for an hour once a month. But supporting does help me out quite a lot, and it does help me produce all of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye-bye.